Welcome back. We are now moving more and more toward Oceania every day. Sheepdog Smokey here, and we have a man in the UK that has been fined £90. I believe that's about $120, $130 for hiding his face during a very cold day where they had facial recognition software going. For those of you who have seen the movie Minority Report, you're going to know that they had facial recognition and even retinal scanning pretty much every 2 feet all over the city that they were in, Washington D.C. People who walked around and kept their eyes down or whatnot were often pulled in by police. And now we have it done in the UK. A man was walking down the street. Someone had told him that there is facial recognition, although there's also reports that there were a lot of signs in the area, so he may have simply seen one of those. He pulls his, they say jumper, he pulls his sweater up over his face. So, effectively, he's walking around like this. On a cold day, and it may not have been that, it may have simply been up like this. On a cold day, especially a cold day in the UK, I can pretty much tell you I wouldn't be surprised to see ski masks. Temperatures I've seen when I was looking at when I may have wanted to try to travel to London in the UK show it very cold in the winter and not the best of weather in the summer. Yet they pull him aside and they start giving him the third degree. Now, the interesting part of this story is that there's no legislation that's been passed that allows for this, let alone requires, but that even allows. It's still being debated in Parliament. So this is a test that they're going to use to bolster their argument in Parliament to say, see, it works. They also say that the only faces they're actually storing are those wanted for crimes. But, as this shows, they're effectively telling the people, you must let us scan your face. What's to say this won't be expanded to facial recognition on mobile devices, like my nephew's phone or iPad, that can be unlocked using the front-facing camera and a scan of your face. What's to stop them saying, well, the legislation passed, but we don't have enough examples of faces, and we don't have enough people walking by to build up our database to know who's who. So we need to expand this. And Apple, it's now law in the UK that you have to provide us all the faces you've scanned. And if Apple says no, Apple can no longer operate in the UK. What's to have them expand it to where it's illegal for me to do this? I have a handy dandy little device on my computer that I bought a 3-pack of from Five Below. Not the best example of their packaging, but this right here. You can see it is a webcam blocker. Very simply, it's a little piece of plastic with some stickum on the back. You put it over the webcam to where you can do this. Slide to the left, and you block the cam. Slide to the right, you unblock the cam. Many of you may have seen that at a conference, or it may have been at a press conference or just a professional conference. Bill Gates had an obstruction over his webcam on his laptop. I believe it was Bill, but it was a very high profile person that had blocked their webcam. Now, I know that I do this here because I don't want it on all the time, and my setup here tends to launch it when I launch OBS, when I launch GameCap Pro. It will automatically activate the webcam. But I have other rules that if it senses pure dark for more than 60 seconds, shut the camera off. Simple power bus savings. Yes, I know this is a nice computer I'm working on. Should be able to run no matter what. But the more power you turn off, the better your computer will run over the long term. I used to have a laptop at work that I would have put one of these on if I'd found them, but I had a sticky note over it because our instant messaging program and our WebEx logins and our GoToMeetings, all of them automatically turned on the camera, whether or not I had an indicator on my screen that said I was broadcasting my camera. So I blocked it. I didn't want to because I may be listening into a WebEx while I'm at my desk eating my lunch or while I'm at my desk working. And I don't want to be seen, because I do work on my computer, looking at my screen. So if I'm doing this, it looks like I'm ignoring you. Or if I'm eating, it is rude. So I block my cam. I do it here. But what is to stop now the UK from saying, well, we have the cameras and the system on the street, but that's not enough, and we forced Apple to turn over all their to turn over access to all their cameras, but that's not enough. So we're going to make it so that every camera out there is always on and always scanning faces, including the one in your home. And if you put something over it, you go to jail. This is Orwellian Tactics 101. It very simply is. This is the government saying you have no privacy. You have no rights. Watch the movie Minority Report when they're searching for the bad guy. I don't want to spoil it if you've not seen it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't horribly good either. But when they're searching for the bad guy, no one has any right to privacy or anything. There are no rights. And this is the beginning of that in the UK. It honestly is. This is, you don't have the right to say, I don't want you to take my face and store it in a database. This isn't, I don't want you tapping my phone if you've gotten a warrant. This isn't, if I'm a suspect, I don't want you coming to my home. This is, I'm walking down the street. I don't want you recording me randomly for no reason. And you can see that the police don't care. This is Orwell through and through. I've made the reference to Orwell, Bradbury, and Huxley many times. This is also part of Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, although quite a bit more overt than what we see with that book and the movie that just came out. Michael Shannon and Michael B. Jordan do a very good job in that movie, by the way. I believe it's on HBO. But it's more Orwell than anything. We're moving towards a world that is 80% Orwell, 5% Bradbury, 15% Huxley. Because, of course, the Huxley part, make every drug legal. Abortion is fine, no matter what. If it feels good, do it. And anyone who says that's not a good way to live is instantly trying to impose a Christian theocracy on the planet and must be destroyed. And we actually have AOC to thank for actually being one of the very first to say that not supporting and praising abortion is trying to impose a Christian theocracy on the planet or on the country. But when we look at everything the Democrats are trying to do, medical care, only the government can give that to you. Living wage, let the government give that to you. A job, let the government decide what you're going to do. Everything must flow from the government. Ultimately, it will be, we need to legalize these drugs because that will make people placid and we won't have as much crime. It will literally be, go to work. Go out, take some drugs, watch a movie, go home, take some drugs and sleep. So that you are 100% pliant and placid. Ultimately, it will reach the point where certain people, I doubt we'll ever truly get to the Huxley nightmare, but certain people will not be allowed to breathe. Look at Heinlein's Starship Troopers, where people have to get a license to have children. And it's actually being bandied about now with people like Joy Behar saying, if you don't support allowing abortion, you should have to get a vasectomy. Literally, that, I'm sorry, men, if you are a responsible male who does not rape people and does not believe abortion is right, you have to get a vasectomy, effectively saying you're never allowed to be a father because you don't take the party line of the Democrats. This right here is the next step in control. This is Orwell's fevered nightmare beginning. This is, we have a right to monitor you when and where we want, and you may not even oppose it. You want this in your city? I know I don't. I've talked about it long enough. Let me know what you think. Remember, when you comment below, keep it civil. We do not learn from argument, we learn from debate. As always, please remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.